A maznoon this is a scenario. See, somebody is reading Farz namaz, right? 4 rakats. And after the fourth rakat, he thought he still got 2 rakats left, right? And then he went on to read another 2 rakats, right? But he sat in the fourth rakat, right? So somebody else came and he thought that this person is still reading the Farz namaz, right? And he joined him in the 2 rakats, right? So now, if this person reading the extra 2 rakats, the Imam, he abandons that 2 rakats, he sat in the fourth rakat, then, according to one opinion, he don't have to make a qadha of that, right? But the person who joined him, he have to make qadha of that, right? Understood that? Now see, what does this show you? This shows you that the salat of the Imam is weaker than the salat of the Muqtadi. Because why? He don't have to make qadha, right? But the Muqtadi must make qadha, right? So remember we mentioned earlier that if it is not permissible in the Hanafi madhab, in the Shafi madhab maybe it's permissible, it is not permissible in the Hanafi madhab for an adult to follow a child even in Nafil Salah. Remember, it is not permissible for an adult to follow a child in Nafil Salah. And if somebody argues and they says, look here, both is Nafal, both are Nafal, the adult's namaz is Nafal and the child's namaz is Nafal, so why can't he follow? Then we gave the answer, we said, no, look, if the child breaks his Salah, right, then qaza is not wajib upon him, right? Qaza is not wajib upon him, right? Right? And but if the adult break his salah, qaza is wajib. So that shows you the nafal of the imam is stronger. What? Right. So we said it's not permissible because the what you call it, the salah of the imam is the salah of the muqtadi is stronger than the salah of the imam, right? Because if the child break his salah, the child don't have to make qadha, right? So now, if somebody says, no, your principle doesn't hold true, I can give you an example of where the salat of the imam is weaker, but yet the muqtadi's imam, the salat of the imam is the muqtadi is stronger, but yet the muqtadi can still follow. And this is the example. Look here, I tell you, the example is this here. Somebody was reading 4 rakats namaz, right? Somebody was reading 4 rakats namaz. And after the fourth rakat, he thought that he's got another 2 rakats. And then somebody came and followed him, right? And the masla is this here, that person, the imam, if he just abandoned that, he realized, hey, this is now extra rakats over and above my farz namaz, and he abandoned that 2 rakats, he don't have to make qadha. But the muqtadi, if he decides to abandon it, he has to make qadha. So you say, see, you going against your own principle. You are going against your own principle. Yeah, the muqtadi's namaz is stronger because he have to make qadha. The muqtadi's namaz is stronger, he have to make qadha. And the imam, if he abandoned it, he don't have to make qadha. So that means his salah is weaker. His salah is weaker. So here you Hanafis, you allowing a stronger person to be the follower of a weaker person. You're going against your own principle. So you understood the objection. So in this ibarat here, we answering the question. We say no. بِخِلَافِ الْمَظْنُونِ. This is contrary to the maznoon. The maznoon is, I told you, the person who thought he got 2 extra rakats. And why we say first you answer, لِأَنَّهُ مُجْتَهَدٌ فِيهِ. We say, look here, we don't agree with you that the imam don't have to make qadha. You can't use it against us. Yes, maybe within the Hanafi madhab, there is an opinion that the Imam don't have to make the qada, but the correct opinion is he has to also make qada. So you can't use that against us when it's not our opinion. You understand what I'm saying? You sure you've heard me? Then we say لأنه مجتهد فيه. Then we say فأتبر العارض. You sure everything is right here? Because I see the normal people is not uneven. The normal regulars. Everything is right. Right, you understood that. So we say that, look here, you can't use this against us. You can't use this against us because we do not agree with this that the qada is not wajib. That the qada is necessary upon the imam if you pray that nafil namaz. That you're saying, the annahu mujtahidun fi. That is about the qada on the imam. That this masala, there's no qada on the imam, or that the muqtadi have to make qada, etc. That is mujtahid fi. You understand what I'm saying? There's this difference of opinion within the madhab, so you can't use it against us. Then we go on further to say, فَأَتُوبِرَ الْآرِضُ عَدَمًا. So this, this is just a temporary thing. It is not a permanent thing. فَأَتُوبِرَ الْآرِضُ عَدَمًا. That what I mean there is this here, that I told you that there's a difference that according to, there's a difference of opinion that not according to all the Hanafi madhabs, that the madhnoon, that means the imam, that qada becomes wajib upon him, right? That's the first farq. Although Imam Zufar says in the Hanafi madhab that qada becomes wajib on the madhnoon, that is the imam, right? So according to Imam Zufar, it's wajib. So according to Imam Zufar, um, upon the imam and the muqtadi, qada becomes wajib. So according to him, it's the same, right? So that is one answer. We say you can't use this against us because we're not saying it's not wajib, right? Only according to Imam Zufar, it is. He said it's wajib, right? The other difference is here. And if another difference is that we can say, yeah, also look here, in this scenario, both the Imam and the Muqtadi are baligh. Both the Imam and the Muqtadi are baligh. So the namaz is basically of the same strength. Unlike in the other, the masah of the, in the masah where the person, the baligh is falling the na baligh, there for sure, the salat of the na baligh is weaker. You understood that, right? Yeah, and the other thing is that here, we say that this must known when he read this two rakats, he for a moment, he thought it is necessary for him to read it. That's that ibarat there. فَأَتُبِرَ الْآرِضُ عَامًا. But the moment he realized he don't have to read this, I've already read my 4 rakat salat. So that means I don't have to read it. So what he's saying is, him reading that 2 extra rakats was based, it was premised upon a misunderstanding, a temporary misunderstanding. So you can write there, al-aridu, you can write there, a temporary misunderstanding. What was it based upon? A temporary misunderstanding. That's why for him, it is not wajib that if he broke the 2 rakats, he must repeat the 2 rakats. But the Muqtadi was following him. In his mind, there was no question of that this is extra 2 rakats, that is not wajib to read. He thought he's following the Imam. He thought he's following the Imam and in a regular salah. You understood that? So that is why we cannot compare. So the main thing is we are answering here why we cannot use the masdar of the maznoon to prove that an adult can follow a child in a nafil salah. Are you with me? So I'll repeat that. In this ibarat, the crux and the essence of this ibarat is we are saying why you cannot use the masdar of a maznoon. And I'll repeat this, what is a maznoon? A maznoon is that person who, after having completed his 4 farahs, whether it is maybe Isha or Zohar, what's other 4 rakats, Isha, Zohar, or Asr, after having read the 4 rakats of Salah, he thought he finished his 4 rakats and he proceeded to read another 2 rakats, right? And then somebody joined him. So, according to one opinion, that if he abandoned that extra 2 rakats, he don't have to make qadha. But the person who joined him at 2 rakats, if he abandoned it, he has to make qadha of it, to make qadha of the nafil. If somebody says, see, you Hanafis, you are saying that a stronger person cannot be following a weaker person. But here, see, the Muqtadi, his salat is stronger because he has to make qadha. And the Maznoon, the Imam, he don't have to make qadha, right? He don't have to make qadha. So his salah is weaker. So you are going against your own principle. You are going against your own principle. When your principle is that a person reading a stronger salah cannot follow a person who's reading a weaker salah. So we'll say, no, this is not an example of where a stronger person is following a weaker person. This mas'ala is different. باختلاف المظنون. I told you, لأنه مجتهد فيه, that the fact that the Imam don't have to make qadha and that the Muqtadi have to make qadha if he abandon the salah, respectively, that there also there's a difference of opinion. According to one opinion of the Hanafi madhab, that the Imam have to make the qadha. According to one opinion, that the Muqtadi don't have to make qadha. So that cannot be used against us, right? And then Allah asks, فَأَتُبِرَ الْآرِضُ عَلَمًا, that this is just a temporary thing. This Imam here, this Imam, it was reading the extra 2 rakats, right? It was temporarily in his mind, he thought he have to read it, right? So when he realized, no, I don't have to read the 2 rakats, then that obligation is not there. So reading the 2 rakats was based upon a temporary misunderstanding. And so when that temporary misunderstanding was removed, it will be considered to be, it wasn't there in the first place, understood? So فَأَتُبِرَ الْآرِضُ عَدَمًا. So the temporary misunderstanding of his, it will be considered to be adaman, non-existent. Are you with me? I hope you're following. It's a bit of a complex one. I see some of the online people, they only came down, so they missed the other part of the explanation. I hope they understood it, inshallah. So بخلاف اقتداء الصبي, but contrary to a child following a child, right? لأن الصلاة متحدة, because the child for both of them, the salah, there's not wajib upon them, and also if they abandon the salah, they don't have to make qadha of it, etc., etc. Are you with me? So I hope that's clear. If it's not clear, inshallah, Luqman, is it clear? You sure? It is a bit of a complex masla. The next masla, interesting one, is going to do the masla of muhadat. So the masla of muhadat, I think I want to explain it to you before we look at it in the kitab, actually. There was a nice illustration I found here. See, the sister Masla here. If, Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim, if, I know you can tell us the Shafi perspective, Isman, if a woman prays alongside a man, right, like maybe it happens in the haram, whatever, but there is a barrier between them, such as a wall or a gap which is wide enough for a person to stand and pray there, then the prayer is valid according to the majority of the scholars. So this muhazar masla means when a man and woman stand together and there's no gap between them, there's no barrier between them, and they're following the salah, the imam in the same salat. Like the imam is reading Zohar namaz. This could potentially happen in the haram. You're standing next to a woman, right? And there's no gap between you. If there's no wall or there's no pillar, a gap that is big enough where another Muslim could stand, then that's considered to be a barrier. A gap which in a right, and you are in the same salah, and the imam has made intentions for the woman also, then that will affect your salah, right? So repeat. If a woman prays alongside a man, but there is a barrier between them. There's a barrier between them, such as a wall or a gap, which is wide enough for a person to stand and pray there, right? Then the prayer is valid according to the majority of the scholars amongst Hanafis, Malikis, Shafis, and Hanbalis. You know what the Shafi Masla is on this matter here, sir? You don't know. You never. However, they differ with regard to a woman who prays beside a man with nothing separating them. So a woman is standing next to a man. There's no separation between them. There's no gap. There's no barrier. Nothing. The Hanafis have the view that she invalidates the prayer of three men. So she there. So she's standing. So a woman is standing smack in the middle of the men, and she's reading Salah. So she invalidates the prayer of three men. One to her right, another to her left, and the person behind her also. This verse about praying behind a woman also is very difficult because if you went to the haram, you'll know sometimes it's chaotic there. You can very easily find yourself praying behind a woman, right? Right. So one to a right, one to a left, and it's not behind her, subject to conditions that I mentioned. I told you that the conditions which may be summed up by saying that if the woman, they say the woman must be mushtaha. Mushtaha means she's that age or that size where she becomes desirable to men. That was maybe 13, 14, 15, whatever. If she's so young, she's still a small child, then it doesn't matter, right? So that's the first condition. In simple words, she's of a marriageable age. She's that age where she becomes desirable to men. At this age of 7 or more, baligh and marriageable age, right? There's some difference in the madhab on this point. And she joins in a regular prayer with the imam, which includes bowing and prostrating. So this must be a normal salah which has bowing and prostrating. Which salah doesn't have bowing and prostrating? Yeah, so if you're standing next to a person reading janazah salah, that a woman standing, it will not affect them, right? They join together simultaneously the opening takbir. And the imam intended to lead the woman in prayer, and the imam made intention of the woman, right, to lead them. And there are some other details which we may refer to in the book. So if a man prays and there is a woman beside him, that does not invalidate his does not invalidate his. If a man prays, and there is a woman beside him, that does not invalidate his prayer or hers, whether he's leading the prayer or praying behind him. That's enough. Okay, so that's a different madhab there. So in simple words, before I do it from the kitab, this is what you need to understand, right? That a woman's baligha, she stands next to a man, there's no gap between them, and it is a salat, zatul ruku wa sujood, a salat that has a ruku, and there's a salat that has a sajda, and the imam also makes intention for the woman, then this woman will invalidate the salat of the person on her right, the salat of the person on her left, and she'll invalidate the salat of the person behind her as well, directly behind her. Okay, so inshallah we'll do that from the kitab tomorrow. Inshallah, we'll do that from the kitab tomorrow. So the one about the maznoon, inshallah, I hope you understood that. Ne? The maznoon is the one who reads two extra rakats thinking he's still got some furrows left upon him, right? You discuss. So, and then we say this cannot be used against the Hanafi madhab, and I gave you the reasons, two reasons. One is, first, all of the Hanafis are not even of the opinion that the qadha becomes wajib upon the muqtadi. And the second one, what I told you also, that even if we say it is like that, but remember, this was based upon a misunderstanding. And the moment the misunderstanding is removed, what happens? Then uh, the compulsion of reading the two rakats is also gone. It's removed. So something which is temporary, uh, if the reason for the cause of which is not there, then it will be considered to be not there as well. Right? The cause of it, right? So we stop there. We'll continue tomorrow, inshallah. But subhanallah, bihamdi, subhanakallah, bihamdi, wa nashhadu an la ilaha Allah Ta'ala accept it. Allah Ta'ala puts it on mizan. Allah Ta'ala make it a means of our shifa. Allah Ta'ala make it a means of cure our illness. subhanallah wa bihamdi, subhanakallah, bihamdi, illa anta nastaghfiruka wa natubu ilayk.